Alright guys, here we go again, another tomato taste test. Got 3 new ones and 3 that I've done before. Now, I normally call these my sanity check, just to make sure that they're still okay or still bad. But it's occurred to me that quite a few viewers haven't seen these before. Not many people go back to 2022 tomato taste tests. So I'll give them a proper review this time. Now what we got is Reisentraube, Chupa Chups, Blue Beauty, Britain's Breakfast, Boxer Rebellion and Flame. So, without further ado, I think we ought to get straight into it, you know? Okay then, the Reisentraube, I think I'm saying that right. Lovely little cherry tomato. I'll put a picture of these up on the screen there to show you where they're growing in my front garden, and you'd be amazed at the number of tomatoes on a truss. Right, here we are. Typical red cherry tomato. And yep, as you'd expect, cherry tomato-like inside. That's nice. That is traditional, really, really high-end traditional. I'm almost going to say that is one of the nicest traditional tasting tomatoes. So I might actually, without further ado, first one, I'm going to give this a wow factor. I'm going to say that is absolutely brilliant. So I'll show you all the scores later on as usual, and what I'm doing. I'm sort of making notes about the sweet, tart, tangy, balanced or bland, the wow factor, and any flavour notes. So for that one, that is traditional. And a wow, there's nothing more to be said about that. Balanced, yes, it is balanced. Balanced, very balanced. Okay. And I'll keep all these to one side because I saved the seeds. Right, next up we have Chupa Chups. Look at that, lovely colouring on it. Almost looks like a sweet, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. Almost need a bigger knife for this one. Oh, look at that, lovely. Look at that, lovely insides. That is almost, well, I suppose it is beefsteaky. Yeah, the layout inside. Okay, here we go then. Sweet, very, very sweet. Maybe it's called Chupa Chups because it is sweet and it tastes like a sweet. It looks like a sweet. That's okay. I'd have that mixed in with other tomatoes, I think. I don't think I'd like to eat that on its own. It's very nice. Don't get me wrong, it's nice. It's very, very nice, but I think it's a bit overpowering. That one. So, what are we going to call that then? Sweet for a start. Chupa Chups, very sweet. I'll put a V sweet on that one. V sweet. That is probably one of the sweetest tomatoes I've tasted, actually. Right, Blue Beauty. Another one from Ali, thank you very much, over there in Canadian land. This one's, well, it's split a little bit. It's been off the vine for a while because it was ripening faster than the rest, so I had to take it off a bit, and I think I might have overwatered it just before I did. But some of these bigger tomatoes are prone to splitting, and there aren't many beefsteaks that I'd say look pretty, you know what I mean? Yeah, right, here we go, let's cut him open. Look at that. Blood red, really, really dark red that is. Definitely a beefsteak, you can tell by the layout of all the insides and the seeds and the flesh and everything. Okay, fingers crossed for this one, because a few of the beauties I've had before have been, you know, average. So here we go. Juicy. It is juicier than it looks. Yeah, it's a sweet tomato rather than a tangy or acidic or... Not too bad, actually. I reckon that'd be nice on a burger. A bit more. Second bite of the cherry. For a beefsteak, that is one of the nicer ones I've tasted. I'm liking that. It's not overpowering either. It's not a wow, but it's very good. That's some good tomatoes this year. Okay, on with Britain's Breakfast, one of my favourite plum tomatoes. Good for, you know, pastes and sauces and that. Now, I've not pruned any tomatoes this year apart from damaged branches, leaves, stems, etc. So it is way small. It should be at least that size, at least. But I've got hundreds of these rather than a few of them. So I reckon weight for weight, it probably worked out the same. Typical plum looking tomato with a little bit of juice in it. Well, it's justified itself for being on my chart already. It tastes even better when it's cooked, guys. It's a nice taste now. It's a traditional, mealy, meaty, just great. It's a great tomato. Oh dear. Yeah, brilliant. Balanced, yeah, balanced. And I'm going to put paste. Boxer Rebellion. What a looker. Isn't that nice? But you don't eat with your eyes. Well, there's some say you do, but let's have a quick look. Ah, looks all right inside as well, doesn't it? Well, the proof's in the pudding, as they say, so down the hatch. Yeah, sadly, it's one of those that's bred for its looks. It's just bland. There's nothing to it whatsoever. It just tastes like common to garden, basic tomato from a value tomato from Tesco. Yeah, I don't know why I bothered growing that one actually, because it was the same last time. Bland. Notes, don't grow again. Not again. I might even mark that down as a red one actually. Sad, don't like doing that. Right, flame. Yeah, well, you can see why it gets its name. Yeah, sort of flamish colours. Yeah, right, insides. And that's come through really well. When I tasted this one last year, there was no red inside it. It was right, but there wasn't much red in it. But that, well, you can see why it gets its name now, can't you? Here we go then. That's all right. It's balanced. It's a mid-ranging one, but yeah, it's all right. Okay, I'll get all these marked up on the chart, and I'll come back to you later on with the overall scores and my verdict. Okay, see you soon, guys. Okay, guys, here we are. What is it now? So 6 o'clock. 9 hours later. It's 9 hours later. And the reason I delayed all this was because you've seen the workers flitting around in the background. That I've blurred them out because I want you to watch me, not them. There's a little bit at the end, don't worry. They're replacing the fence, so you can see the rails are in. They've got to put the uprights now. It goes across 3 gardens, so they've done quite good. Anyway, yeah, 9 hours. I have saved a shed load of tomato seeds, 9 lots, and I've reduced everything down to a fairly thick paste. Fairly thick. Yeah, a little bit runny still, but that's all right. I'm going to put that in punnets in a minute. Anyway, results are in. I'll put it on the screen as usual. I've still got to work out how to do the overall score. You know, the overall over the last, I think it's 6 years. 6 years, yeah. Anyway, we got a good one here. That is. Now I said one of them wrong. One of the new favourite. The 10 out of 10 with the wow factor. Sorry, tomato, I said your name wrong. I called it Reisentraube because that's what it said on the packet. But when I googled it to see if I was anywhere close with the taste, it's nothing like it. And what was there was Reisentraube, which means giant grapes. Yeah, so that's a good one. Blue Beauty, that's up the top there for me at the moment with the beefsteak types. And Britain's breakfast has reaffirmed itself as a fantastic paste tomato. Chupa Chups, yeah, it's good. And Flame, yeah, all right, I'd eat them, but you know, they're not at the top. They're okay, certainly better than supermarket ones. And Boxer Rebellion, I've relegated that from a yellow to a red. I'm not going to grow that again. It is just, yeah, I don't want to swear, but there you are. I beat the rain. Oh. I found another one, which I shall do next time, so I've got loads of them. This is a dwarf Ribella Green, part of the Dwarf Tomato Project, but we'll talk about that later. Well, I think this is a better way of presenting my tomatoes over the last 6 years. The ones I really like, the ones with the wow factor, the ones at the top of their game, they're all in green. The ones taste tested most recently are in yellow, with the ones done this year in a sort of orange over the year. And any ones that have been sanity checked or verified have got the 2 dates there. The ones with the lemony coloured background, they're nice. I'd eat them again, I'd buy them again, and I'd grow them again. It's just that there are better in each of their genres. And the ones in red, if I ever see them again, I will cross the road to avoid them. But to be fair, like the Boxer Rebellion this time, I'll give them another tasting just to make sure they're still as bad or if they've got any better. What do you think, guys? Does this work? All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this one. I'll catch you on the next video.